창가에 걸린 발의 조각.
No music, just emotion. Jungkook sings Raw for ARMY on July 14th TikTok Live. What was he really trying to say? Like, comment, and share if you felt the silence say more than the words. Subscribe for more untold moments of BTS. It began like any other livestream. Jungkook, wearing a simple black shirt, greeted ARMY with that familiar soft smile and warm presence that has, over the years, become a source of comfort for millions. But what no one expected was how one innocent request would change everything. Jungkook, can you sing with no music? The comment floated across the screen amid a flood of hearts and greetings. And for a second, everything stilled. His eyes followed the words slowly, as if decoding not just a request but a whisper of longing. He didn't speak. He didn't reach for a speaker. He simply leaned closer, lips slightly parted, his gaze focused and thoughtful. And then he sang. There was no instrumental to hide behind, no melody to carry his pitch, just his bare voice, exposed in all its fragility and strength, dancing across the silence that surrounded him. It's rare to witness something so pure, so unfiltered, in the chaotic world of social media. But on July 14, 2024, Jungkook broke that wall. ARMY didn't hear a performance. They heard a confession, a memory, a promise. The song, though never formally introduced, was delivered with an intimacy that made it feel like a lullaby for a hurting heart. Fans could hear the slight rasp in his voice, the way he closed his eyes for a beat longer between lines. It wasn't polished, it wasn't rehearsed, it was real. Some ARMYs swear there was a glimmer of something deeper behind his expression. He wasn't just singing, he was releasing something. A weight, maybe, a message only the closest would notice. The look on his face in that captured image, wide eyes, parted lips, stunned by the moment, is a clue itself. It's the face of someone caught off guard by their own vulnerability. Did he intend to give away so much of his heart? Or did that one comment unlock something he hadn't realized he was holding back? After the livestream ended, the world didn't feel the same. ARMY was in awe. Social media exploded with tears, theories, and clips looping the short moment of song that felt like forever. He didn't need background music. His soul became the melody. It's not the first time Jungkook has stunned with his raw talent, but this time was different. There was no agenda, no filter, no script, and that's what made it unforgettable. Was it planned? Or was it fate? If you were watching closely that night, you'd remember the silence that fell just before Jungkook opened his mouth to sing. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't empty. It was the kind of silence that holds meaning, as if even time paused to listen. He leaned forward, barely noticeably, the subtle movement of his lips parting, the slight tension in his throat. And then, without warning, without even announcing a song title, his voice filled the room. It wasn't powerful in the way you might expect from a BTS main vocalist. It wasn't performed. It wasn't polished. It was raw, tender, and heartbreakingly human. It felt like something he hadn't rehearsed, like the words had been stuck in his chest for days, maybe months, and finally found a way out. What made it more haunting was what wasn't there. No music, no background noise, no distractions, just him, and a silence that dared not interrupt. He wasn't singing for us, he was singing to something deeper. That's what one ARMY wrote only minutes after the live ended. Because when Jungkook sang, he didn't look into the camera constantly. His gaze drifted, not like he was unfocused, but like he was remembering. Like he was seeing something that none of us could. Some speculated it was grief, others thought it was love, but everyone agreed it wasn't a performance. It was a confession. You could hear the tiny breaks in his voice, not because he missed a note, but because emotion caught him off guard. At one point, his eyebrows furrowed ever so slightly. It wasn't obvious. You could miss it if you blinked. But for those watching closely, it was clear. He was feeling every word like it was his own journal read aloud. That's what made it unforgettable. A song, or a secret. To this day, Jungkook hasn't revealed the title of the song he sang. Fans have tried to guess, piecing together lyrics from the fragments they could hear. Some believe it was an unreleased demo. Others are certain it was something he wrote himself. But the more important question isn't what the song was. It's why he chose to sing it, and why in that way. Some think it was a spontaneous gift to ARMY, a reward for their loyalty and patience. but others, especially those who followed Jungkook for years, noticed a deeper pattern. Whenever Jungkook sings without music, it's never just about vocals. It's about truth. It's about pain. It's about saying what can't be said out loud in interviews or press releases. And on July 14, 2024, his voice was doing more than filling silence. The look that broke ARMY's hearts. There's a screenshot now spreading across fan accounts, forums, and fan art. Jungkook mid-song, eyes wide and lips parted, an expression caught between surprise and surrender. In that frame, you see more than just a singer. You see a boy who grew up on stage, suddenly laying down his armor. A young man who carried the world's expectations finally letting a crack show. It wasn't weakness. It was courage. That face said everything he couldn't put into words. And thousands of ARMYs responded with posts like, "I feel like I witnessed a part of him no one was meant to see. This wasn't a performance. This was a prayer." Jungkook, your silence before and after that song spoke louder than anything. It wasn't weakness. It was courage. That face said everything he couldn't put into words. And thousands of ARMYs responded with posts like, "I feel like I witnessed a part of him no one was meant to see. This wasn't a performance. This was a prayer." Jungkook, your silence before and after that song spoke louder than anything. A moment that can't be repeated. He only sang once. No repeats. No retakes. He didn't replay it. He didn't ask if it was good. He just moved on quietly. But in those 90 seconds or so, something shifted in the fandom. Something about that live reminded people why they fell in love with him in the first place. Not for his perfection, but for his imperfections. For his quiet moments. For the way he doesn't just sing songs, he bleeds them. And for the way he made every ARMY watching feel like he was singing just for them. As the live ended, there was no final statement. No good night. No thank you. Just a quiet transition. And yet, the world wasn't ready to move on. What followed was not chaos but a strange, aching stillness. It was as though Jungkook had lit a match in a dark room and left, while the flame continued burning in the hearts of millions. The comment section on TikTok didn't stop even after the live ended. Fans were begging, not for more but for answers. Did anyone else feel like crying? I don't know why I'm shaking. It was just a song, wasn't it? He looked so honest, like he finally said something he couldn't say with words. ARMY around the globe described the moment not as a performance, but as a personal experience, a type of spiritual connection that only BTS could give, and that only Jungkook could express with such quiet vulnerability. In New York, a fan posted a video of herself crying, her voice cracking as she whispered, "I don't know what he's going through, but I felt it." In Seoul, Weavers trended with handwritten notes fans had scribbled down, trying to remember every lyric he sang. In Argentina, a street artist began painting a mural, the very next morning titled, "The Voice in the Silence." The mystery of what exactly Jungkook sang became a global investigation. Fans slowed the audio, looped it, adjusted EQ levels, and tried to isolate the faintest syllables, desperate to catch clues. Was it a cover of an unreleased song, a BTS demo, a solo project in disguise, or was it something else entirely, something private? A few ARMYs speculated that the lyrics weren't from any song at all, but from a personal piece, maybe even something Jungkook had written and never meant to release. This felt like we accidentally opened a page of his journal. One fan wrote on Twitter, "He wasn't singing to impress, he was singing to let go." And that's what struck everyone the most. This wasn't polished content for an album or variety show. This wasn't a dance rehearsal, a vocal flex, or a promo. This was Jungkook, the person, not Jungkook, the idol. Overnight, the entire fandom responded not with hashtags alone, but with art, poetry, piano covers, and letters. They weren't demanding more. They weren't asking for explanations. They were just reflecting back the love and pain they had received in his song.
창가에 걸린 발의 조각